digital and sequential devices. Starting off, we're looking at the digital and sequential device, namely the LED and the LCD display. Now both of these units work on the same principle, whereby they are either sunk or sourced. You've got a positive supply voltage that connects to your display unit. In this case it's my LED. That then goes to my driver. The driver is what's going to turn this LED on or off, and that then connects to my 0 volts at the bottom. What happens in this scenario is, as the driver gets a signal, it will turn the LED on or the LED off. This is called sinking. The second type is sourcing. Sourcing works on the same principle. You've got your positive supply, but now the supply goes to the driver, which then connects to your LED, which then connects to the 0 volt at the bottom. Now looking at these two units, we can see that the driver in my sourcing connects the LED to the positive source, whereby the driver in the sinking connects the LED to the 0 volts. In other words, it sinks the signal. Now we get two types of devices when it comes to the LED display. The LED display can come in a common anode or a common cathode configuration. Common anode has all the LEDs, connected in such a way that their anodes form a common point, and then these points A, B and C will then connect to my driver, which will then turn it on or turn it off. The common cathode, we've got exactly the same, except now our LEDs are reversed in such a way so that all the cathodes are connected to the common point, and then we will have the driver connect to the anodes, and that will then in turn allow us to source the signal. Now the 7-segment display, 7-segment display, you guys have all seen them. These are displays that are laid out in this type of configuration. You can clearly see them on devices like microwave ovens, and these will have your typical layout like that. The actual device, where each one of those lines or each one of those segments is an LED. Additionally, each one of those legs, each one of those will have a pin connected to it. Typically a single unit like this has 10 pins. 2 of the pins will be your common anode or your common cathode. Let's say those two, for example. Then each one of these units will have a identifier, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now each of those identifiers will link to one of the pins on top or underneath. Now this last pin typically connects to my decimal point that's at the bottom there, and basically how that works is when power is supplied to the common leg, as well as one of the pins, then that specific segment will light up. Now, depending on the configuration of which LEDs light up, you will have the different number identified on your display. The second type of unit that we're looking at is called the LCD display. LCD display works on the concept of polarization of light. Okay, it's got the exact same type of configuration as your display there. However, it doesn't work on the principle of shining light, it works on the principle of blocking light through polarization. Now, each one of these segments that we've got will be filled with a gel type material that consists of crystals, and these crystals, when they become receive a voltage across them, those crystals will align, and that alignment will allow for polarization of the light. Now, as light is a electromagnetic signal, the signal has two axes. Firstly, you've got the electric signal, and secondly, you've got the magnetic signal, and those two signals typically are 90 degrees out of phase with each other. Now, as this unit goes, it has one type of material that polarizes the light in, let's say, for example, the vertical axis. So as the light travels, all the horizontal signals gets cancelled out, and it allows only the vertical to continue. Now, when it gets to the second, these display units at the back, those are then allowed to polarize in the horizontal axis. So when the light travels and the unit is displayed, or the unit is polarized, then it will block that signal, and that display unit will then turn dark, as it doesn't allow light to shine through it.